Are you tired of hitting roadblocks in your dating life? Join me for a free masterclass where I'll be revealing the 3 nice guy dating patterns that turn women off and what you should be doing instead. Unlock the secrets to creating genuine attraction. Click the link in the description to sign up now. There was a comment that was left under one of my videos. I did a video called Where Your Neediness Comes From and How to Stop It. And there was a guy that left a comment, and, it's one of those things where he's very much anti the idea of people getting married and dating and it not working out, blah, 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 blah. So he said, dating and marriage are practically dead here in the US, and you can thank the gynocentric state and feminism for destroying the nuclear family. I wanted to get married and have a relationship at one point, but over time, I have seen women become more promiscuous and shallow than ever. There is more risk than benefit to even engage with a female, thanks to false accusations, divorce court, and child extortion courts. Try to prove me wrong and you will fail. You either get lucky and hope you meet a good woman who won't one day decide the relationship ends even after the vows because she's no longer impressed with you, or gets bored. There is no point anymore, and videos like this will never stop what is coming. By 2030, over 46% of women will be childless and not married. If you still say otherwise, do some research and you'll learn. The only men that can get any attention are the small 10%, everybody says that all the time, 10% who women deem worthy, and all of them are getting ran through and ghosted because the alpha chads are realizing they can play the game to their benefit. Marriage, cohabitation, and children are now defunct ideals. It's only going to get worse in the coming years. This sounds like what I'll call like red pill salad. Like, it's like, if you guys watch Wheel of Fortune, the letters RSTLNE are at the bottom, and they are always the letters that are used because back in the day, people used to always guess those letters. So they just put it on the thing, like everybody just gets those, right? And so when I hear alpha chads, blah, 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 like all this stuff, right? It sounds very much like what red people say. So that's fine. So here's the thing, right? To this guy's point, I'm actually not going to try to prove him wrong. Like, I used to watch Kevin Samuels' show. Kevin Samuels said all the stuff he said here in terms of like what the marriage rate is, childless women not being married, or women that have children that are single, and all the stuff that this guy just pointed out, right? So, for me to be like, oh, none of this stuff, like I'm a dating coach. I study this stuff every day. I know the stats, right? Here's the thing, though, is that ultimately, look, if this guy decides based on these stats, he doesn't want to go get married or date, that's completely in his right. Like, you have the right to say, based on the statistics and the probability outcomes of blah, 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 I don't see how dating is a good idea for anybody. I mean, we can ignore the fact that, the population is now 8 billion, when I was a kid, it was 7 billion. So clearly people are still banging and having kids and still getting married and doing it, right? But I get it. There's a high divorce rate in this country. It's like 70% of the time of people get divorced and whatnot. Like, I'm aware of all those things, right? Here's the thing, though, is that there are plenty of other channels on YouTube of guys that will say the same stuff and will convince you as to why you should not get in a relationship. If you are of the belief that you don't want to get into a relationship, you can go watch those channels. Now, I'm not unaware of these statistics. I'm also aware that there's an alternative way of things happening. I come from a family who, my dad's been dead for 32 years and my mom can't stop talking about him. Like, I've seen true love in action. I have plenty of relatives that have been married for 30, 40, 50 years. I also have relatives that got divorced, and I could go into those various reasons of why those things happen. Honestly, a lot of it was because the women in those situations were acting more masculine. But to the point is that doesn't deter me from the idea that if you find the right partner, and more importantly, if you as a guy know how to be, that you can also get into a successful relationship. Now, again, I know the stats, but I also believe that as a guy that has seen real love and true love work out, and as a guy that has been able to experience true love and, have good results, that there needs to be somebody out there that's saying, hey, look, the divorce rates are crap and your chances of making it are slim to none. But if you're going to put yourself out there in the field anyway and try for it, then I need to be here I feel like I can be a voice to help you better your odds. Now, you listen to my stuff and do all the things and still potentially not have it work out. But again, my goal is to give you a better shot, a better chance. And also, if you look at those various stats, you have to also take into consideration the fact that, to be real, most of the time when those things don't work out, it's because neither person took the time to really look at what they need to do for their partner and to really study up on how the opposite sex works. Like women don't understand men don't understand women, and we all just want what we want out of relationships. If everybody's acting that way, is it any wonder that those relationships are going to fail? So even you nice guys that are like, I'm being nice, you're being nice based on what you perceive to be nice, what you think should be a nice thing to do for somebody that they might not even want, you know? It's kind of like when you go to like, I've been to like family cookouts, right? Where the person's like, hey, you should have one more plate of this. And I'll be there like, no, I'm good. Oh no, you gotta, like they're forcing it down my throat. They're not taking into consideration that they're trying to be nice by giving me this food and I am full and don't need food. So even nice guys are gonna have this issue. So I think that as you get better, as you study up on these things, it doesn't completely take the risk away, but it's a kind of like wearing a condom. Like it goes from like, you have a 100% chance of catching an STD to like, you have now a 96% chance. There's still a 4% chance you could catch something, but it's better than not, you know? So that's why, like, even if I know the stats, I still, in my own personal life, have seen at the end of the day, these things can work out. You saying like, oh, women are some more promiscuous. Yes, promiscuous and shallow women are out there. Meanwhile, I got a friend that met a woman and they're about to get married and she's a virgin. Like, they also still exist. So you can't live in this bubble where it's like, because you're watching stuff on YouTube and you're hearing all these facts and figures, that means that like that's the only reality out there, you know?
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high class man. You a high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man.